So we have this week two parashiot, right? Nitzavim, Vayelech. Nitzavim come first, Vayelech comes second. I would like to start with the end one, with Vayelech, the last parasha. It's basically Moshe Rabbeinu is giving his last speech. Yes, by us it lasts for a few weeks. We have Rosh Hashanah in the middle, and but this is his farewell. It's goodbye. And I think we said it before, but so we'll say it again. At the beginning of the parasha, Parashat Vayelech, Moshe is addressing Am Yisrael, and he's addressing them, and he's telling them, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give you your enemies in your hands, and you should do whatever I commanded you to them, and so on. Then Moshe tells them, Chizku ve'imtzu al tirau ve'al te'artzu mipnehem. Liot chazak is to be strong. Ometz, amitz, is to be courageous. So how to be strong and courageous. That's the bracha that he gives. That's why when the Sfaradim get the Aliyah for the Torah, the Ashkenazim say Yeshar Koach, right? Yesh Koach. Sfaradim say Chazak u'Baruch. Chazak u'Baruch. Strong and blessed. The proper manners would require the person who received that to actually add on to the bracha, and we therefore bless Chazak ve'ematz. Be strong and be courageous. Because you could be strong, you could be a coward. And so he says, be strong and be courageous. Don't be afraid and don't hesitate from them. Why? Ki Hashem Elokecha hu ha'olech imach. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is walking with you. Pay attention. Lo yarpecha ve'lo ya'azveka. It's very interesting grammatically that pasuk does not make sense. At the beginning it says Chizku ve'imtzu al tirau in plural. In the middle of the pasuk he switches and he goes to singular. And so therefore HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to walk with you, not let go of you, and would never leave you. I'll never leave you. Right? The song. Lo ya'azveka, he will never leave you. Therefore, if anybody ever dares to tell you, Jews, God had left you, say, excuse me, it says in Deuteronomy 31 verse 6, God would never leave you. So unless God, of course, is a liar, which is not, he would never leave us. After he does that, Vayikra Moshe leYehoshua, and Moshe called upon Yeshua, Vayomer elav le'enei kol Yisrael, and he tells him in front of all the Jews, Chezak ve'ematz, be strong and be brave. Ki atas, for you, tavo et ha'am hazeh, you will bring this nation el haaretz, to the land, asher nishba Hashem la'avotam latet lahem, which God had sworn to them, not the United Nations, God had sworn to them to give it to them, and you will inherit them. Ve'Hashem, who, and God is, ha'olech lefanecha, who walks ahead of you, hu ya'imach, lo yarpecha, ve'lo ya'azveka. He would walk ahead of you, in front of you. He should be with you. He will not let go of you, nor he would leave you. Very nice. He gives them, in a way, the same bracha. The only difference is it's not the same bracha. To Yeshua, he says, God is walking in front of you. God is leading, and you're all following him. To Am Yisrael, he says, God is walking with you, among you. What's the difference? The difference is very simple. Here we have a classic case of understanding, in a way, what should we be doing? Yeshua represents the tzaddik, the righteous man, let's call it a superior individual. God walks in front of him, and God is his sight, and he doesn't divert from what God says left and right. He goes forward. Am Israel, God is among them. He walks with them. In other words, when there is a tzibur, a congregation of people, their power or the advantage is greater than to be a righteous individual. Because the righteous individual just walks and he waits by for the challenges in which HaKadosh Baruch Hu will face him. He will overcome them. He will go on, and whatever HaKadosh Baruch Hu throws at him, he would keep on going on that path, would not divert. He is going. Where the tzibur, the congregation, the group, and especially when they are united, and this is the remez. At the beginning, the pasuk, the 6th, he says to them, you, in plural. Then he switches in the middle and says, you, in singular. When you are one, when you are united, God is walking around you, with you. Together, you're walking with Him, which is a greater level than the individual who is a righteous man, he's doing the right thing, but he's on his own. Because the individual cannot change the reality of things. The tzibur, thank you, the congregation changes the reality of things. We can force a change in reality. We can force a change in a place. What is my power to go and change things on? Right? Remember, we used to walk in a park, right? So we used to walk in a park. At the beginning, nobody says hello to anybody. And we did an experiment. We started saying hello to everybody. Everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So at the beginning, nobody answers you. And they started. And then what? Then they start greet us from there. Hey, Rabbi, how are you? Good morning. Do they still say good morning if we're not there? Putting this on? I don't know. But when we are a group of people, we change the reality of this place. Now everybody does it. We make this place different. And only then God is walking with us, because we operate as one entity. And by the way, there's no difference between a congregation, city, or even parents. When the parents don't speak the same language, in other words, don't say the same words. The father says one thing, the mother says, don't listen to him. The mother said something, the father says, don't listen to her. You got Ben Soler Moya, that's nothing. It doesn't work like this. You have to work as an entity. When you have two parties working together, you have to work as an entity. Even you as an individual have to work in an entity. As an entity, as one unit. And remove all doubts. Don't have two voices. One says be this, go to learn in college. The other one says go learn in yeshiva. College, yeshiva. Yeshiva, college. What happens? When you're in college, you want to be in yeshiva. Excuse me. And when you're in yeshiva, you want to go to college. And what happens? Nothing happens. You never get anywhere. So the koach of the tzibur is so important. It's what is so called berov am hadrat melech. The glory of the king, the glory of the Lord, the glory of God is when there is a group of people together doing it for Him. Rather than one person here, one person there. That's why it's important to bring your friends to learn. It's more glory to Hashem when there's a big difference when you have 10 people learning, or 20 people learning, or 40 people learning. It's not about the place. It's not about the rabbi. It's not about anything. It's about God. So therefore you have to make it your business to bring people, to change their reality. The biggest weapon that we have, the biggest instrument that we have in leveraging everything else that comes, or everything that comes in our way, is knowledge, education, true education, Torah education. Not to be selfish and keep it to myself as the best kept secret in the world. Share it, and by doing so, changing the reality of things. You have a congregation of people who are not educated, it would look like that. It will be a chaos. You have a group of educated people, they will be able to inflict change. Therefore, no change can come if there's no education or proper education in place. Even on the individual level, for that matter. If you know that you're doing something wrong, you cannot change it unless you educate yourself what is right and what is wrong. You need to learn. And you need to learn how to do it. And you need guidance. You cannot do it on your own. You could be the biggest tzaddik in the world, but you cannot do it alone. Even Avraham Avinu could not do it alone. He wasn't able to change the world around him. He changed his family. That was it. In order to make a change in the world, you need to have the power of the people, the unity. And only after he received the Torah, he started talking to them about unity. Because that's the most important thing. You need to have the combination of the unity and the Torah. One person learns Torah alone, it's very nice. Not the same if you have 100 people learning in that city or in that shul. You want to know what shul to move to? Look at how many people learn there. What shul you should be a partner or part of? Look how many people learn. A lot of people learn. That's your place to be. Nobody learns. There's no difference maybe in staying at home. So that's the difference. And both of them, in both cases, you need to be strong internally also, not physically. Internal strength. And you need to be courageous. And you should not be afraid for whatever enemies, physical or spiritual, will come your way. If you as a congregation, you should not be afraid. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is walking with you as a congregation. Lo yarpecha velo yazveka. As if you work together. But as an individual, you have to be at the level of Yeshua to be able to do that. Lo tera velo techat. Don't be petrified, don't be afraid. So that is the small pasuk. Actually two psukim from the parasha. Yeah. What? Tesha. These are two psukim that if you pay attention could change your life. There's only two psukim, and there are a lot of them in the Torah. Now let's go back to Parashat Nitzavim. And I said it in an order, because I think what Parashat Nitzavim is telling us will be more magnified if we understand that first. Baruch atah Adonai melech haolam shakol yom v'dvaro. Amen. Kuti. You practice? Parashat Nitzavim, we'll make it short. Parashat Nitzavim is I don't think it's a popular parasha. Because Parashat Nitzavim deals with something that we don't like to deal with, not even acknowledge. And that's called free choice. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us free choice. By having free choice, He elevated us to a level or what it says in Sefer Bereshit, we should create a man in our image. Animals don't have a free choice. Angels don't have a free choice. Humans do. And in Parashat Nitzavim, Kadosh Baruch Hu tells, Moshe tells us whatever is happening there, and so on and so forth. And if you would listen, if you would not listen, over again, to they'll listen and they'll listen, and your children, and on and on and on. And here in Parashat Nitzavim, surprisingly enough, we have the mitzvah of tshuva. Ki tashuv. So you see, mitzvah tshuva is a midoraita. כי תשוב, כי תשמע בקול השם אלוקיך לשמור מצוותיו וחוקותיו הכתובים בספר התורה הזה, כי תשוב אל השם אלוקיך בכל לבך ובכל נפשך. You have to come to הקדוש ברוך הוא, come back to him with all your heart and all your power. So here's מצוות תשובה. Why? כי המצווה הזאת אשר אנוכי מצווך היום, that mitzvah which I command you, which mitzvah is that? Yes, even mitzvah tshuva, to come back to God. And all of us should be Baal Tshuva. We should wear the title of Baal Tshuva as a badge of honor. Not like today, as a second-class citizen. Oh, you're Baal Tshuva? No, that doesn't work. That doesn't happen. It should be, what? You're not a Baal Tshuva? Oh, that should be the case. So we don't understand. We don't understand what it's all about. Because it says, כי המצווה שזאת אשר אנוכי מצווך היום לא נפלאתי ממך ולא רחוקה היא. It's not so far away from you. And it's not wondrous that you could not reach. לא בשמיים היא לאמור מי יעלה לנו השמיימה ויקח לנו וישמיענו אותה ונעשיה. It's not in the sky. Learning Torah, keeping mitzvot, is not something that is so aloof and far and removed. It's not in the sky. Velo me'ever layam, and not across the ocean. You see, me'ever layam, they knew that there's something. In other words, if they said it in Israel, me'ever layam will be in America, right? So you don't have to travel to America to do mitzvot. They knew there was America. You think Columbus discovered America? Moshe Rabbeinu discovered America. So we should really be called, what should we call instead of Americans? Mosheikans? Okay, that'll be it. Mosesans. ולא מעבר לים, מי לאמור, מי יעבור לנו אל עבר הים ויקחנה לנו וישמיענו אותה ונעשיה. It's who will travel across the ocean and bring us to us, and then we'll do it. כי קרוב אליך הדבר מאוד. This is very near to you. בפיך ובלבבך לעשותו. It's in your mouth and in your heart. What do you learn from in your mouth and in your heart? You need to mean it and you need to say it. When you make tshuva, it's not just to say in your heart, oh man, I'm so sorry I did that. It's to be able to be a man and to say, I did wrong. Chatati, aviti, pashati. I did it. In your heart, mean it, and in your mouth, say it. It is not a problem to say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. It's not a problem. And yet it takes a real man to do that. And sometimes women are more men than men. When I'm saying men, I refer to a hero, a courageous, honest human being. Men in terms of human, not female, male. And if somebody says to you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I was wrong. If you still hold a grudge, which you shouldn't, you should forgive him immediately. But these few psukim tell us something that we miss all the time. And this is how we miss doing the mitzvot appropriately. We think that mitzvot, we wait, all our lives, by the way, we wait from one occasion to another occasion to happen. I'm waiting to graduate out of school. I'm waiting to do this. I'm waiting to do that. I'm giving myself different stations along the way. And in between, all I'm doing, I'm just waiting for it to happen. And when that happens, I'm waiting to get married. And then I'm waiting to have a baby. What happened in between? That in between is the most important part. You want the productions, you want the fireworks, you want the big bang. And it does not happen like that. It's lo bashamayim, lo rechoka v'lo gvoa. Even a teeny incy winny mitzvah. Like, give me one little mitzvah. Teeny binny little mitzvah. Terrific. Netilat yadayim. Terrific. Teeny little mitzvah. Saying a bracha. How many times you see what? Say a bracha. When you eat with a full mouth. You eat your shawarma, lafa, like this, right? You eat with a full mouth. תגיד, המוציא לחם מן הארץ, תגיד ברכה, מה יש? Yes, even saying a little teeny bracha, שהכל נהיה בדברו, אשר יצר, is just as important and meaningful as writing a Sefer Torah that cost you $70,000, and you parade in the city like Achashverosh, like Mordechai on the horse, and so on and so forth, and you're making a big deal of it, and you think you wrote a Sefer Torah, you did something great. You're wrong. The Tilat Yadayim is just as important. Because that's the way you look at things. When you do things, and you're just waiting for the big things to happen, in between, you're doing mitzvot. You're doing your things. You don't really mean it. You don't really care about it. Okay, I have to daven, so I have to daven. Big deal. So I miss davening. Okay. But I want ptichat ha'echal for you, Rosh Hashanah. Ooh, I'm going to spend how much money?
Thousands.
Why thousands? What's the matter? Business is bad. Why thousands? Tens of thousands of dollars. Of course, I want everybody to look at me. Tens of thousands of dollars. You send your kids to a decent school. You sent them to a decent yeshiva. Or you send them to co-ed. For crying out loud. You're spending $80,000. Of course, you spend $180,000 on your car, but you spend $80,000 on ptichat ha'echal because you want parnasah. It's very good. Chazak u'varuch. Chazak ve'ematz. How much your tefillin cost? When was the last time you checked them? Do you have a shas at home? Do you read something? Did you ever finish Meshilat Resharim? Do you apply it to your life? Do you own a talit, or you come to shul, you put the shul's talit? I don't understand that, by the way. When you live your life like this, you miss up your whole entire life. Even learning, when you learn only for something. I want to learn because I want to become a rabbi. I want to learn. This is not learning. That's almost like, I don't know what. I don't want to say avodah zarah, but this is not what we meant here. This is a foreign way of doing things. You do things because you learn. Learning Rashi and Chumash is just as important as reading Kabbalah. But what do you want? You don't want to do Rashi with Chumash and doing onkelos. I mean, you're above that. You're not at that level anymore. You want to Kabbalah? מה זה? You're looking only for Bashamayim, only for the big things. But the day to day, you want to be a rabbi. How about just sit down and learn? The little things is what counts. Those little mitzvot. That's what changes the whole attitude. To be able to take something small and to realize that that is important. That in-between time. And by the way, this is how we live our lives. We make a big brit milah, we make a big bar mitzvah, make a huge wedding, and then we spend some money on a funeral. But in between life is one big boredom. You want to go on a journey. You're not interested on the journey. You just want to reach your destination. You don't care if they're going to put up a tunnel between here and San Francisco to go in 20 minutes. That's more important to you than actually to sit down and drive. Drive coast to coast. Take your time. Instead of going from here to San Francisco, go from here to Montana. From Montana, go down to Arizona. From Arizona, go to San Francisco. Go like this. Mayesh. What's the rush? Enjoy the trip. Enjoy your life. You don't enjoy it. Why? Because you're always looking for those things. This is, by the way, lehavdil elef alfei avdalot. Elef alfei avdalot. This is exactly what happened to judo or martial arts. When judo was first introduced into the West, there was no such thing. There was white belt, there was black belt. But they saw that this is not going to work because the white man, the Westerns, want lollipops all the time, because that's, by the way, what we do to our kids as well. We give them lollipops. You do this, I give you this. You do this, I give you this. You'll behave, I'll give you a ticket. You give a ticket, the rabbi or whatever, or the teacher, if you behave, I'll give you... that doesn't work like that. You want lollipops all your life. So you could be 50 years old, and your attitude hasn't changed since you were 3. You're still a 3-year-old overgrown child. Why? Because you want the big production. You want to go to a vacation in the Caribbean with your wife and think you had it done, where in between you live from one vacation to the other, when in between you don't even have a time over there for your wife to speak to her. Well, I don't have time anymore with my wife, I'm too busy. I'll tell you how you have great quality time. Go to the supermarket, do shopping with your wife. You push the carriage, she load it in, you pay. Spend some time together. Yes, even that is called spending time. Even that is meaningful. As a matter of fact, that is more meaningful than going to the Dominican Republic and spending $10,000 on a vacation and eating like a pig, only a kosher one. Or Cancun. Why do I have to go to Cancun? All the Mexicans want to come here. Why do I have to go there? It's those little things in between, your lack of appreciation of the simple things of life. Those little things. We don't like the minimalization. We don't see the beauty in simple things. We don't appreciate the wabi-sabi of life. Small things. You want to learn? I'll tell you how to learn. Go learn the Japanese tea ceremony. As simple as it gets. As a matter of fact, they're obsessed on that to the point that it's so simple that any extra petal on the flower is too much. To appreciate the simple things. Because if you don't appreciate the simple things, you're not going to appreciate even the big things. If you can't see the beauty of coming every day and learning 50 times about that the Korah has to be 20 amot, and this has to be this amot, and over. Yes, I know we've been turning like few pages already, right? And we're still on this 20 amot, and yet every day is more beautiful than the other when we find different reasons and different understanding and deeper understanding of the whole concept of Mavoy, 20 amot, 10 tfachim, and so on. You can learn a philosophy from that. A lot of things you can learn from that. But if you don't see that, if you want those big things, and that goes into the attitude of your learning as well, to sit down and to have the discipline to learn Mishnah, Gemara, understand the pshat of the Gemara. First of all, what is it saying to me? To learn the Rashi, to learn the Rif, the Ran, Tosfot, the Rosh, to go Bet Yosef, Shulchan Aruch. Not to wait for this bombastic chidushim and this. All you're interested in is chidushim because you want the fireworks all the time. Meanwhile, did you learn anything? Do you understand what the Gemara was saying? What's the simple understanding of that you're not capable? Because all you do is you walk in for the big things. You're chasing Rambo, not Rambo. Rambo will catch you, but you're chasing rainbows. And like the rainbow, you're never going to be able to reach the horizon. You're just going further down the rabbit hole. And this is what it is. It's a tremendous musar Moshe Rabbeinu is giving us here. You are looking for God. Where is God? God had left us. No. God will never leave you. He will never leave you. God never left you. You left Him. When you do averot, or you even don't do mitzvot, and even more so, when you do the mitzvot, when you're not intending on doing that, not enjoying it. Why? And what's your indication? What is your indication if you're doing the mitzvah appropriately or not? I'll tell you that. You ready? Ivdu et Hashem besimcha. Last week's parasha. Besimcha. You did the mitzvot. You did do it with joy. Joy, it means I'm enjoying it. I love it. I'm doing the Tilat Yadayim. It's wonderful. I'm enjoying it. If I'm enjoying something, it means I'm doing it from the bottom of my heart. I'm enjoying that moment. There is a concept we call to stop time. What do you mean to stop time? Time never stops. But at that moment, time does not exist. It's not an entity. I'm just enjoying that moment. That sunset that you would look into the horizon, it would never end. Because it would exist forever into your memory. Or an event that it was engraved into you. Small event. Remember the girl from kindergarten that smiled at you? That event. That little thing. Right? Sounds familiar, right? I won't say your name out there. So when you do something and there's no simcha, means you're doing it wrong. When you're learning and there's no simcha in your learning, you're doing it wrong. And I don't care what you learn for, or what you learn at all. You can learn to become a rabbi, you can learn to become a Talmid Chacham if you're not doing besimcha. And simcha is nothing that belongs to a place, or to a person, or to a material. Simcha has to be with the fact that you are learning. So either you're not learning, or you're doing it wrong. So you need to examine yourself. Are you doing it besimcha? Any mitzvah that you do, are you coming to pray with simcha? I'm coming to pray with simcha. Kadosh Baruch Hu is listening to me. If you're doing so, you're doing it right. If you're not, you're doing it wrong. You're doing the mitzvah, but you're doing it wrong. And that is exactly what it says last week. Leman ki lo avartem Hashem Elokim besimcha. It says you didn't worship God with joy. Why? Because you had too much. Too comfortable. You don't care. You were born into it and don't enjoy the moment. You're always looking for something else, for something better. There's nothing better. There is nothing else. Everything that you don't have exists in your fantasies, does not exist in reality. So enjoy what you have, because this is all you have. And this is real, because you have it now. What you don't have does not exist. Whether it's your wife, whether it's your house, or your car. You can have a 13, 15-year-old car. And every time you open the door, you should be so happy that you're driving it. You should say thank you to your car that takes you places. Enjoy it. It's a great car. Why? Because the car that you love is the one that takes you. But you don't love it because you're ungrateful. You want your Lexus and your this. Those cars do not exist. In the reality that you call your life, those things don't exist. Those possessions don't exist. Only exists what you have. And you're not happy with what you have. And that's an insult to God. Those things are not bashamayim. Those things are here. It's for you to understand. So Rabotai, Ivdu et Hashem besimcha. Bo'u lefanav birnana. When you're going to come in front of Kadosh Baruch Hu, rejoice. Enjoy the moment. Don't enjoy tomorrow. Enjoy the now. Appreciate the now. I'm not saying be reckless. Don't, who cares what happens tomorrow? In a way, yes, who cares what happens tomorrow? But enjoy what you have now. You think your wife is not the prettiest one? It's not a problem. Go find another one. Let's see who will take you now, you old bag. Enjoy what you have now. You don't like your house. It's too small. You're a fool. Enjoy it. Because you don't know if you're going to have another house. You want something bigger. That does not exist. You have it now. Enjoy it. You're learning here. You're learning now. Enjoy it. Don't look for better place, for different place, because it doesn't exist. Because why? Because even if you move to another place, it will be the same thing. You would never be happy because you were never taught to appreciate and to love what you have. You never were appreciate to do avodat Hashem besimcha. You always want something else that's further away from you. You never look down and to see the bracha that HaKadosh Baruch Hu had shared with you now. You always look at what you don't have or what you had lost. Look at what you have. That's more than enough. Shabbat Shalom. Shana Tova.